Live from the Motorpoint Arena, Cardiff, we are ready for heavyweight action. First, to make his way into the arena, please welcome Shane Gill.
Should be a fabulous February.
Yeah, massive month of boxing. You know, wicked, brilliant main event tonight. Eubank Jr., Liam Williams, 50-50 fight. One that I think will be really close. I think it'll go right down. Could be on the last round to see who wins that one.
I agree with that, yeah.
And then obviously Cal Brook, Amir Khan, and then Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall, stacked month.
And now, introducing his opponent, please welcome Steve Ivan Drago Robinson.
When all the attention is at the higher echelons of the heavyweight division, but there's plenty who want to get involved down the level. Scores of heavyweights inspired, and here is Ivan Drago, the 31-year-old Newcastle novice. Steve Robinson, certainly a character, very charismatic, and with his looks, well, he's the part, isn't he? A bunch of knockout wins, it's early days, but he could be a fun figure on the heavyweight scene.
From promoter Ben Shalom, a boxer, live on Sky Sports Boxing in Cardiff, we are scheduled for 6 rounds in the heavyweight division. We introduce first the blue corner. Wearing the claret and blue, he weighed in at 18 stone even. His record 0-1-0 from Tipton, West Midlands, introducing Shane Gill. And now, in the red corner, wearing the red and gold, standing 6 feet 7 inches tall, and weighed in 17 stone 4 pounds 5 ounces. He is currently undefeated at 4-0 from Newcastle, Tyne, and we're introducing Steve Ivan Drago Robinson.
And it's the heavyweights, Matt. And it's a good way to start a night like this.
Yeah, well, Gill just landed a nice uppercut there on the inside, and you know, Robinson looking to bang in them body shots. I think this will be pretty explosive. This could be over early.
Have you seen much of Robinson yet, Enzo?
Yeah, I seen his debut on the Sky Sports last time out. You can see he lacks a little bit of experience, no amateur experience. So, you know, he's got to learn on the job. He's got to learn the basics, he's got to learn the fundamentals on the job. Bit wild at times, but it'll all come. But as you said, Adam, heavyweight's a dangerous game.
He was telling me last night he's been sparring with Hughie Fury and Cash Alley, and after a few rounds with Hughie, really starting to feel the difference in levels, the experience. But he's keen to learn. Former goalkeeper once upon a time in the football field, but trying the heavyweight game out, 31 years of age.
You know, he landed a right hand there, you know, a few moments ago, and another one then, and Gill certainly seemed to take it well and lands a good shot himself there, right hand and left hook from Gill.
Really going for this, Shane Gill. It's a massive opportunity for him in only his second professional fight. That first one in November was a defeat, and it would be some shake-up here, even at novice level, for him to turn over Steve Robinson.
Yeah, Gill just lunging there with that right hand. If he'd have got his feet a bit closer, I don't know if he walked onto a shot there or if he just lost his balance.
For the body, Robinson. Just got to get that jab out, hasn't he? Fundamental for a heavyweight, that tool.
Yeah, but he got all the assets to pop that jab. Long rangy fighter, the height difference between him and Gill. And there are occasions where he's trying to keep his distance, he's trying to keep his space, but you see that lack of experience where he's rushing in, and when he's rushing in, Gill's just catching him coming in. And it's a hard division to learn in the heavyweight division, and he's going to learn on the job.
The kind of body shot from Robinson. Gill in and out. And quite unstable on the legs, the balance at times of the Tipton man. But he's fiery enough. Second round here in Cardiff. First live fight for you, the red and yellow of the Drago-like Steve Robinson from Newcastle. Of course, there's a rather more famous Steve Robinson, who I think is here somewhere tonight, certainly planning to come, the former world featherweight champion. Brilliant fighter, the Cinderella Man. It's a rather larger version, Enzo.
Yeah, a much larger version. And, you know, he's doing okay. He's in front of the TV. Gill himself is his first fight on Sky Sports. He's going to give it everything he got. And Robinson, he is trying to keep his distance like he's been taught, but it's hard at times. He's learning, like I said, he's learning on the job. He's reaching in a little bit, and that's where Gill is catching him, so he needs to hold his ground a little bit more.
I think Mark Clazel, his trainer, just told him to go back behind the jab, use his physical advantages, because he's a bit wild, isn't he, Shane Gill?
Yeah, and but I think the thing from Gill that's probably giving Robinson the problems is he's actually got quite quick feet. So when he is coming in, Robinson isn't reacting quick enough to try and catch him on the way in, and all of a sudden Gill's on top of him, and then he's hitting him with those short left uppercuts, short left hooks on the inside. So the distance Robinson is struggling with, stiff jab there from Gill, snapping the head back of Robinson. He's got the faster hands and the faster feet, and I think Robinson's struggling with that. The lead right hand there again from Gill, landing lovely on Robinson.
A quick that from Shane Gill. He's not overawed in any way. And remember, as he lands another right hand, it's very early days for big Steve Robinson.
Yeah, I think Robinson just doesn't have the reflexes, the reaction time, the speed. And Gill, who's pretty quick actually for a big guy, he's beating him to the punch.
Just sitting back on those ropes, waiting to pot shot. Rapid hands and just over-eager here, Robinson.
Yeah, he is over-eager, he's falling in. I think the problem he's got is because he's still new to the game, he's been learning the basics. He's been sparring people, basic fighters. With Gill, he's very unorthodox, he's inexperienced himself, but he knows a little bit more than Robinson, and I think Robinson's just struggling to time in at the moment.
Yeah, they also, because Robinson being very static, very stiff and upright. Gill knows where the target is, he can stay low and comes in quickly with that overhand right. And Robinson with the head up in the air, he's shipping them, he's landing them clean.
You can see how he would have fought on the unlicensed circuit, can't you? In and out, tough, strong man.
Yeah, and it shows a little bit of the experience he's got. Robinson has come from nothing, no amateur experience, no pro experience. But Gill, you've had fights, you've had unlicensed fights. He knows what he's doing a little bit in there. And Robinson's just struggling, like Matt said, with the reaction time against Gill.
I'm being serious. You're not staying at the front of your head, and you've got to be moving. Because when he's throwing, stupid shots are landing, right?
second half at heavyweight. Have you given everything to Gill?
Yeah, I have. I thought he's won the 3 rounds clearly. He's landed by far the better shots. Robinson has landed some too, but Gill certainly outlanding him.
Yeah, it's no doubt Gill's in front. He's been landing the cleaner shots, the more effective shots. You know, like I said, Robinson is okay at distance. He's okay when he's at his distance. He's keeping Gill off him, but as soon as Gill decides to close the gap and close the space, you know, you could see how defensively inept Robinson is.
They are taking it slowly. He sparred with Anthony Joshua before the fight with Kubrat Pulev. He's been working with Hughie Fury. And he told me he might be out to Portugal next week to work with Dillian White. So these are big opportunities and real experience, but you've got to do it under the lights when it really matters.
I mean, you can see he's strong and he's got power, but his defense is almost non-existent tonight.
If I'm honest, you know, he's sparring all these top fighters, he's sparring all the levels, but obviously watching here tonight, these fighters having to take their time and him feeding the ropes. He'd be better off sparring someone more novice like himself, having good spars and learning that work. So he was sparring the likes of Joshua, he was sparring the likes of Fury, going out with Dillian White. They obviously got to take their time in him, they got to bring him in, hold him out, let him go the rounds. So he needs to spar people on his level, and that's where he's going to learn.
Insight from Enzo Maccarinelli, former world champion. And one of the many great Welsh fighters we've covered on Sky over the years. Joe Calzaghe, of course, Robbie Regan, Steve Robinson, as we talked about, Barry Jones, Gavin Rees, Lee Selby, Nathan Cleverly. Who's who, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. Some great fighters there that you mentioned.
Looking for the uppercut for the first time. That was better from Robinson. Just taking his time a little bit more, and I wonder if Gill will just start to tire during the second half of this 6-rounder, because it's a good shot at the end as well from Robinson. Not happy with that, Gill. Johnson in the Shane Gill corner, just trying to rev him up again. 6 minutes left as he just dances on his feet. He's in a really good position in this fight. What an opportunity for the 35-year-old from the West Midlands, who on Matt Macklin's unofficial card has won the lot.
I think he's won every round. He's Robinson's, you know, struggled in there really. He's as Enzo said, he hasn't really been able to time him on the way in, and he's been, you know, on the outside. He's good at staying out of distance far enough that Robinson can't get to him. And then when he does want to close the distance, he does it quickly, comes in behind the double jab or the lead right hand, and whichever one he does, he lands on. He ends up on the inside, and he goes to work then with the short left hooks.
And so there were signs at the end of the last round. He was just beginning to take his time, utilise this jab. He's got to keep the distance, hasn't he, Robinson?
Yeah, that's basically all he's got to do, Adam. When he's at a distance, he's landing some shots. I think he needs to go back to the gym and he learn. Matt knows what I'm on about, and I'll explain what I'm on about. He needs to learn that measuring stick for someone so long, for someone so tall. Get that hand out, get that jab, put it in his face, blind him, and then bang the right hand in. At the moment, some of these jabs, just pitter-patter jabs, not stopping Gill coming in. As soon as Gill wants to come in, he comes in.
He's 6'7", he's got all the advantages, but he's just being out-hustled, out-roughed, and at times out-boxed here.
Yeah, I mean, you see it there, Gill, in the previous round, beating him with the jab, double jab, snapping the head back of Robinson. The shorter guy shouldn't be doing that.
An uppercut from Gill.
You know, Robinson there, he doesn't need to be there. He doesn't really know what he's doing up close. That is Gill's game. You know, he's in close, he's popping in a little good shot there by Robinson. When he's at that distance here, yeah, he's comfortable, he's looking well, popping that jab out. But it's when Gill decides to rush in, he just doesn't know what to do. He needs to learn to time that right hand as he's coming in. Maybe hit him on the chest, maybe catch him on the chin. Obviously, that's what we want. But just timing, good shots there by Robinson.
That's what he's looking for, cocking the right hand to unleash it.
You can just see Adam, when he's got that distance, he's landing good shots. Up close, he can't.
Left hand from Gill. Back comes
Good shot.
Robinson. Good action here in the fifth. But you can see they really are novice heavyweights, Matt.
Yeah, no, two raw novices, they really are. As Enzo says, they've got a lot of work in the gym. Got to work on the fundamentals, work on their feet, work on how to get in and out of distance.
Crowd are beginning to enjoy it, though, in this, the fifth round. Both throwing more leather.
You could see though, Matt, Gill would probably fight this way against anyone. That's his style. I think Robinson hasn't got his style yet. We know which style he should have. Keeping it long, keeping it on the end of the jab, banging coming in. But at the moment, he's sort of confused of what to do.
Heavyweights into the sixth round, and it's not been a good night for Steve Robinson, who's trying to keep this unbeaten record intact. But on the cards and the unofficial scores of the boys here at ringside, he needs a knockout against a very tough Shane Gill, who's fancied it from the off.
Well, you see him there at the start of the round here, beating Robinson to the jab, pushing him back behind that double jab, and the physical attributes that Robinson has, the shorter guys shouldn't be just able to walk in on him that easily.
Yeah, you could see what Robinson's trying to do. You can see what he's been taught in the gym. You can see him, but he's keeping at long distance. It's just that the inexperience of being able to handle someone who's rushing in at you all the time. And like I said about the sparring, he needs to be sparring these novice, rugged fighters who's going to come in, rough him up, and that's the way he's learned. Sparring the likes of Dillian White, Huey Fury, Anthony Joshua are not going to teach him that much at this stage of his career. It's just going to be looking good for him that he's gone in with world champions and future world champions or boys who box for world titles. He needs to fight spar novices.
He knows what he is, but he thinks that his attribute is the jab, and I think that's one thing that he hasn't got right tonight, which I'll have to go back to the gym. He's got a great team around him, Steve Robinson, but he is 31, and this at 35 for the West Midlander from Tipton. He's come down and he's tipping over the undefeated heavyweight Steve Robinson.
Oh, this is a big chance for Gill, and you can see him taking it.
As the shoulder or the gum shield's out.
Come out.
I think he just twitched at the right arm as well there, Gill.
But like I was saying, this is a big chance for Gill. You could try to grab this with both hands. He's come out firing. You've kept a good pace up as well, but you could see very two inexperienced guys, which have turned into a good fight.
But if he's booked to fight for next week, he's in the journeyman category. So this is a poor night for Robinson.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll want to box next week after the way this fight's turned out.
He might go and have a celebration if he gets it. Remember, Steve Robinson, the home fighter. We don't know how it's being scored. This is unofficial here, but we all feel that Shane Gill has turned up and delivered a decent enough performance at this level.
Yeah, like I said, two very inexperienced boys, but you could see Gill has a little bit more experience fighting in the unlicensed. He knows a little bit more what he's doing. He knows this is his style. This is the way he fights. Robinson hasn't found his style yet. He's trying to get his style, but he's falling in, he's trying to fight, he's reaching. And like I said, inexperienced, but a good fight.
Good couple of body shots there. You see, at range, at distance, he can do his work, but Shane Gill's not allowed him. At times he's been up close, he's struggled on the inside. Robinson, it's a learning fight, of course.
Yeah, better round though from Robinson. He's finished the fight strong.
Yeah, a good couple of rounds at the end from Steve Robinson. And an embrace, but he doesn't look a happy man.
Your heavyweight contest goes the distance, and we go to Chris Jones for the decision, scoring the bout 58-56. Declaring your winner, Shane Gill.
Right decision, and Real good win that for Shane Gill as Steve Robinson loses his unbeaten record. And it means the world to him. He came into Rocky. It's a Rocky story, isn't it, for the 35-year-old on this sort of platform. Not a great one, but two novice heavyweights. And Shane Gill takes the spoils.